Zoom Meeting Etiquette Guide. Professional conduct in virtual meetings is essential for productivity and respect. This guide covers preparation, participation, and handling unexpected situations. I'm Huie Polock. About 5 years ago, Zoom meetings became very popular. And at that time, everyone was scrambling to teach users and attendees of meetings how to use the product, but also proper etiquette. But since then, we don't talk about that anymore, and I thought it was a good time to talk about proper etiquette and what you should do watching and being a member of the audience of a Zoom meeting. So before the meeting, equipment check. Test your tech. Ensure microphone, camera, and speakers work correctly. Check internet stability. Learn controls. Familiarize yourself with mute, video, and chat functions. Join early. Log in a few minutes before the start time. This prevents interruptions. When you go to a movie, you're usually in your seat just before the movie starts. You want to do that for a Zoom meeting as well. It's not fair to the presenter who has prepared a full presentation for you and you come in and miss part of it. Setting up your environment, quiet space. Choose a location with minimal background noise. Inform others you'll be in a meeting. Proper lighting. Ensure your face is well lit. Avoid sitting with windows directly behind you or any light behind you. Have the light in front of you. Have a clean background. Use a neutral, professional background. Remove distracting items from view or use a virtual background. Don't have it show what your bedroom looks like or what other people in your household are walking around in maybe what wouldn't be considered proper clothing and be embarrassed by it. Professional appearance. Dress appropriately. Wear what you would in an in-person meeting, even at home. Avoid distractions. Skip clothing with busy patterns or distracting logos. Set your name. Use your full name or the name you normally use in everyday life because people want to know you and know who you are. Audio etiquette. Mute when you're not speaking. Keep your microphone muted unless you're actively contributing. But make sure you remember you're muted when you do go to speak. And then speak clearly. Use a moderate pace and volume. Avoid rambling. Don't go on and on. And then minimize background noise. Consider using noise cancellation apps like Crisp. Video best practices. Have your camera on. Use video when possible to foster engagement and connection. Have eye contact. Look at the camera when speaking, not at yourself. Mindful movements. Avoid excessive fidgeting or distracting gestures. And professional posture. Sit up straight and maintain a professional appearance. Don't fall asleep. If you do fall asleep, obviously you're not going to be able to turn your camera off and everyone's going to see you snoozing. And don't eat on camera, and especially if it's something crunchy, don't have it by your microphone. In the bottom left is somebody who's surprised. Somebody asks him a question. He's looking at his phone. He's looking at another monitor. Make sure your attention is on what's being said. And of course, wear something appropriate. Don't be wearing your PJs. Active participation. Focus fully. Avoid multitasking. Close email and unrelated browser tabs. Show engagement. Nod and provide visual cues to show you're listening. Use a hand raise feature. Signal when you have something to contribute. If you can't find how to raise your hand virtually using Zoom, just raise your hand. Respect others. Don't interrupt speakers. Consider different viewpoints. Using chat effectively. Relevant content. Use chat for questions, comments, or sharing links. Avoid side conversations. Limit private chats unless necessary. And keep it professional. Never send inappropriate or distracting messages. Handling interruptions. Getting up. If you're going to have to get up to get something or to go in the other room to do something else, make sure you always mute your microphone before getting up and turn off your video. Disable your camera to avoid unprofessional moments. You do not want to have, in this case, the fellow's shirt is covering all of his back as well as his pants, but I've seen many people get up. People are seeing things that they don't really want to see. So make sure you turn your camera off before you do get up to retrieve something or to go in the other room. And then when you come back, just turn your camera back on. You don't have to announce that you're back. We will see that. When someone interrupts you in the room where you are, mute yourself immediately. The first priority is silencing your audio. Signal them quietly. Use hand gestures to indicate you're in a meeting. And address very briefly for urgent matters, respond quickly and quietly. And then turn your camera back on, and when necessary, turn your microphone back on. Phone calls during meetings. If your phone starts to ring, mute immediately. Silence your microphone as soon as the phone rings. Quickly turn off the ringer. Then allow non-urgent calls to go to voicemail. And step away if necessary. For urgent calls, turn off the video and then return quickly. Food and drink considerations. Meals during meetings. Avoid eating during video calls, and it can be quite distracting for others. Acceptable beverages. Sipping water or coffee is generally considered appropriate. And then mute when drinking. Consider muting when taking a drink to avoid any noise. Technical issues, quick fixes. When technical problems arise, stay calm. Try quick fixes like checking connections, restarting the app, or rejoining the meeting. And then meeting conclusion etiquette. Proper farewell. Say goodbye appropriately before leaving the meeting, or just wave. Log out completely. Ensure you've properly exited the meeting. And then if any follow-up is needed, send any promised materials or information promptly. Some ground rules for Zoom meetings. Find a quiet space to participate in the meeting. Enter the room a few minutes early to resolve any technical issues. Start on time, end on time. Take a break at least every hour. Feel it necessary. Turn off your mic. Turn off your camera. Get up. Walk around the chair a couple of times. Sit back down and then turn them back on. Leave your speaker on so you can hear what's going on. Do not multitask. Do other work during the meeting. Mute your microphone when not talking. Position your camera close to the screen you're looking at. Keep your camera on whenever possible. Turn off your camera if doing something distracting. Balance airtime so all participants and no one dominates. And raise your hand and speak up if you have something to say. Ask quieter members for their opinion. Use the chat box to record key ideas and action items. Be interested so the meeting can be interesting. And with that, this has been Zoom Meeting Etiquette Guide. I'm Huie Polock.